Good morning. I'm very happy to present this paper virtually at the first International Conference on Music Psychology and Music Performance. I'm grateful for this opportunity. Today I'm talking about an aspect of my PhD work. The first idea of doing this research started when I was recording my first CD. This was based on my professional experience as music educator, piano tutor, and pianist. When I was recording my CD, I observed that the visualization of performances could inform students about their own performances. There is evidence that technology-based learning can enhance learning and performance, particularly in higher education singing studios. Real-time visual feedback can benefit singing learning. However, it is unclear how visual feedback can be systematically used in higher education piano learning and teaching. For this video presentation, I will focus on the perspectives of teachers and their students on the application of a new technology system in higher education piano studios. The provision of feedback is a crucial aspect of ensuring learning. According to Hattie and Timperley, feedback is defined as the information provided by an agent, for example, teacher, peer, book, parent, self, and experience, regarding aspects of one's performance or understanding. Feedback in piano learning and playing is both intra and interpersonal. Intrapersonal feedback in piano learning and playing encompasses mainly auditory, visual, and proprioceptive feedback. It also encompasses cultural awareness state of the individual, metacognitive knowledge, self-regulatory skills, and sense of self, which also play their roles in learning. Interpersonal feedback in piano learning and teaching can be between teacher and student and between individuals and technology. Feedback in piano studios can be verbal and non-verbal feedback between teacher and student, and it is delivered by the teacher in order to improve students' performance. Interpersonal feedback between individuals and technology can be explored in this table. Various types of technology, such as video recording of performances, visual feedback and real-time visual feedback, and computer feedback are explored in instrumental and vocal learning. These technology uses focused to enhance learning of particular musical performance parameters such as dynamics, articulation, rhythmic accuracy, and voice-related aspects of the learner's performances. Most of the research studies on the application of technology in piano studios were based on perspectives of students after attending a workshop with technology in piano studios. In my PhD research, I have explored the actual application of technology in piano lessons alongside teacher and student, and also interviewed them in order to see their perspectives. My PhD study was conducted at the UCL Institute of Education in London. I adopted an exploratory action case study approach. Participants were 3 teacher-student pairs and myself as a researcher facilitating the technology system. Participants fell in the following criteria: teacher and student pairs who were having weekly based lessons, who were being in higher education, and who were working on a memorized piece. This slide shows the technology system which was applied: a digital piano, 1 laptop computer running digital audio workstation software, Cocos Reaper, with a piano roll screen option via MIDI interface, and 1 additional PC screen to be placed in front of the piano student. Data collection involved three sources: video recording of 2 piano lessons, audio recorded interviews with teacher and students separately after each lesson, and technology generated MIDI data. A multi-method qualitative data analysis approach was adopted in this study. The focus of this presentation is on the outcomes of the interview data analysis. Three additional forms of feedback were available to participants across the three case studies: real-time visual feedback, post-hoc auditory feedback, and post-hoc visual feedback. The analysis of the interviews showed divergent opinions regarding the use of real-time visual feedback. Students A and B and teachers B seemed to agree with the benefits of real-time visual feedback use, mainly for articulation in performances. However, teacher A did not seem to have used the real-time visual feedback systematically in their lessons. All participants seemed to agree on the benefits of using post-hoc auditory feedback, though. Post-hoc auditory feedback meant to be the playback of the performances in lessons. Post-hoc auditory feedback were reported to benefit the focus on learning, on listening only, and not listening and playing at the same time, and to make the performance goals clearer, to enhance learning and listening immediately after playing, and to make the participants to perceive and understand better our performance. The use of post-hoc auditory feedback at a slower tempo also reported to benefit piano learning, particularly for rhythmic accuracy. Finally, divergent opinions were found on the use of post-hoc visual feedback. Some students stated that graphic representations can show aspects of what and how a pianist played. Participants also reported on the benefits of visual feedback, which is a sort of a score that portrays the performance itself. On the other hand, teacher C was not convinced to what extent the color nuances on the computer screen actually reflected the dynamic nuances from the performances. This study suggests that there is a potential application of additional feedback generated by technology in higher education, piano learning and teaching, alongside teacher feedback. This application can optimize the traditional pedagogical approaches in the teaching and learning in piano studios. However, the use of additional feedback depends on the differences between individuals and their preferences for using the type of feedback, either auditory or visual. Many thanks for listening to this presentation, and please send your comments and questions to my email address, and I'm happy to answer your questions. Thank you again.